little girl going with my big mama, low down big mama anyway. I didn't like her. I didn't like her. She didn't like me. I didn't like her. Our spirits just didn't match. She said I was one of the low downest children she had ever seen in her life because I was a wild child. I loved to have fun. And they would pick favoritism over me and my sister because my sister was very docile, meek, and mild, but she had a little evil side. Hey, Terrence, I know you looked at the girl, but I ain't talking about you too bad. You was a sweet little child. You really was. But anyway, they were always kind of like favor her a little bit more because of the meekness, and she was so sweet and quiet. And she was a pretty little girl. She really was. Long, jet black hair, little black, little porcelain skin girl. And pretty white teeth, and it was sort of like, we would like the color purple. I was Sealy, and she was Nettie. But on the Nettie was still meek and mild. I wasn't meek and mild like that, honey, because I talk my mind. I just tell you, even with the grown-ups, I would tell them exactly how I felt. And it was just a little too strong in those days. Now, it's called, the kids do that, they just say that your children are very bright and they have just beautiful, dominant personalities. But then, children was supposed to be seen and not heard. That's what the old folks said then. And so you get your ears snatched if you got a little bit out of line. Sort of like what they did on Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with the little girl, how she got her ears snatched. That was me. I had the same trouble because I love to sing out loud and I felt like I was supposed to be able to express myself. So in those days, you were out of line as a little child. When you created situations like that for yourself, you was out of line. But I just want to talk about it because I remember going with my big mama that said I was one of the low downest children she ever seen in her life. I was a low down snake. Life, y'all, excuse me. But anyway, that's what she said. But anyway, I'm going to be talking a little Southern because that's the way we talk down here. A lot of us still have proper etiquette, but at the same time too, this video is all about just allowing you all to step into what was going on down here south of Alabama, what they call the low down dirty south. And me and my big mama would go off, and my sister, and big mama loved watermelon. You know, they had a stereotypical thing about, you know, black people and watermelon, but big mama loved watermelon. Because when you go inside Big Mama house, it smelled like riding watermelon all the time. One of the most disgusting places. Excuse me, Big Mama, I know you resting in your grave, you know, but I got a bone to pick with you. Okay, yeah, your house stunk. But anyway, Big Mama was just as sweet as she could be with that snuff in her mouth. I remember closing Big Mama's hand up in the door one time. Yeah, Big Mama was a screaming. Did I try to do it? Yeah. That was my way of getting back at Big Mama. So now y'all got an idea of what kind of child I was. So, you know, I'd be in Big Mama's house and stuff like that, cutting the food, yelling and screaming and singing as loud as I wanted. And Big Mama's house stunk. I hated it. It stunk so bad. She was so nasty. Excuse me, y'all, I'm not being disrespectful to the dead. I'm just really just telling y'all what I went through. She had the biggest rats in her house, okay? We're talking about like 1974, 1973, way before you guys were thought of. But I was like, what, 5 years old, little girl and stuff like that. And Big Mama would buy us these glass Coca-Cola bottles. And they'd have, Coke was different then in those days. Coke got you high. And it'd be so strong that a child couldn't handle it. A lot of parents would give you water, but Big Mama let us just drink it strong because she knew we liked it like that. The Coca-Cola in the glass, and when you got through drinking the drink out the glass, you take it to the local shop, and then they'll swap it out and give you a nickel or a quarter to get the bottle because they're going to wash it and put the drink back in there again. But Big Mama take us out to the farmer's market so she can buy her peas, and don't forget the watermelon, and she'd get all these different vegetables from the farmer's market, and it'd be a whole bunch of old fat sisters all sitting down there picking and shelling peas on the spot. They brought their chairs and umbrellas, and they sat there and they shelled their peas and all that, and was getting themselves ready so they can cook Sunday's dinner because it was on a Saturday. But those were the days, you know. I remember those red tomatoes and those big old watermelons looked like they were that big in the day, and cabbage and collards so big, and had peas to shell, and we helped Big Mama shell them peas. And I remember that fresh smell of them peas. I don't know if any of you all can relate to any of that. You know, a lot of you are much younger than I am. I'm 42 years old. And so I just had gotten the spirit to just talk about, you know, the way they talk down here, down south, when I was a little girl, and at the same time too, I just got that longing for Big Mama. Even though I talked about Big Mama and everything, Big Mama was still, we love Big Mama, and I love Big Mama and everything. But the video wouldn't be exciting if I just really didn't tell you how I really felt about Big Mama. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Okay, be back in a second.